Hello and welcome to this final video for the Marketing Hub. This is the video for the two reports. These reports are entirely automated, so you can't actually fill anything in on either of these two reports. So I'm going to show you what they are. The first one is a schedule report. This isn't to do with your social media numbers and the data coming back. This is purely for what you've scheduled and what you've put on those 5 tabs as far as your marketing is concerned. So these first sections at the top, these are actually warnings, all the different warnings. If you remember correctly, on the individual tabs underneath here, it says potential warnings. You've got things that could be wrong with the data, or stuff that's duplicated or missing, or whatever the case might be. If you get those warnings, you can actually come to schedule report and you can see everything up at the top there. So if that's all clear, then it looks like your data is all good. If you've got any warnings here, it'll tell you what that warning is. And when you go to that respective social media platform, you'll then be able to see, it'll show you at the top of the column and it'll highlight the data that it thinks is incorrect. So you'll see all the warnings pop up there. Second of all, you can see your posts per month per platform. This I found incredibly useful on the previous one that I've been running something similar to this for a few months before I made this version. This is an updated version, but you can see what you've scheduled, how many posts you've scheduled each month on all the different platforms. So you can kind of see that you've done enough, and you can see if you've scheduled more 1 month or less, or whatever the case might be. It's just handy to see. And then also per campaign. So this is possibly more handy to see because sometimes you get into a habit of scheduling the same kind of content each month, but you might find that you're kind of favoring one campaign or something. So here you can come and actually see what you've done for each of the campaigns, up to 20 campaigns along the bottom. So that's just the overall breakdown of the number of posts from all of these campaigns basically put together. So you can see what portion of your marketing. So I obviously do quite a bit of marketing on Twitter, which I think might be changing soon. But that's at the moment that's what I did for the last 2 months. So yeah, that's just your scheduling report. But then you move on to results report. Now this is quite a lengthy report. I mean, we're talking about 360 odd rows here. So I'm going to go through fairly quickly. All of this is automated, and you'll be able to see what's happening. First of all, you've got your breakdown by campaigns. So you've got showing your number of posts per campaign, per platform, and website clicks. So you've got your breakdown of your campaign showing posts per platform and website clicks. So these colors here are your posts per platform. So you can see campaign 1, fair number of posts, campaign 2, slightly less, but by breakdown. So this is the same graph that you've got on your scheduled there, but what it does is it actually pastes the clicks on top. So the clicks will be a line graph that will go on top of this. Now, bear in mind those aren't on the same axis. This left axis is the number of posts, the right axis of the clicks. But otherwise, if I put them on the same axis, you're going to have your clicks down here somewhere more than likely. So at the top, you can see, you'll be able to see how each campaign, if you've posted more, you should have more clicks than if you posted less. So you'll be able to see the clicks in comparison to the number of posts. Here you've got your number of posts. Oh, sorry, that's just a note for the other one. Here you've got your impressions per campaign by your channel. So each campaign, where have all your impressions come from? You can see most of my impressions have come from Twitter. You can scroll down. You can see your overall impressions by channel. Then you can see your engagements by campaign. So actually, although Twitter was a large number of impressions, the engagements aren't as high as what they should be according to the impressions. So that's quite interesting. Then you can scroll down and you can see that's your overall engagements per channel. It's all of them together. Here you can see a breakdown of campaign. These are website clicks per campaign by channel. So the website clicks are obviously what you're really aiming for. I would say my primary target at the end of the day is to actually get people to click onto the website, because that's where they buy stuff. That's where things happen. So the website clicks per campaign by channel. So it shows each campaign and it's broken down the colors of the channels where your website clicks are coming from. There's your overall website clicks as well, which is also quite useful to know. Here you've got post impressions, engagements, and clicks per platform. This graph can sometimes be a little bit distorted because your engagements and clicks and posts can be quite small compared to your impressions. So your impressions kind of makes the graph go a lot bigger and you end up not being able to see properly. But if your situation is different and you actually get quite a lot of engagement on fewer posts and a lot of engagement, clicks and all the rest of it, this graph might make for some interesting reading. If you scroll down, this is also quite an interesting table. This is something that I did in the last one as well. You've got all your campaigns. It shows you how many posts you've done per campaign, but then it gives you a views, engagement, and clicks. And then give posts again. This is your percentage. So if 54% of your posts are in campaign one and 45% of your, or almost 46% are in campaign two, then what it does is it compares your view percentage, engagement, and clicks and shows you whether you're up or down. So what this is saying is based on the posts, your views are down because your post takes up your posts take up 54. Campaign one takes up 54% of your posts, but only 47% of the views. So that's down and some are up. So you can see which campaigns get more views based on the number of posts that you make, or more engagement based on the number of posts that you make, or more clicks based on the number of posts that you do for each campaign. So that's quite useful. And again, here you can see based on the platform. So the posts, 62% of the posts I've made are on Twitter. And actually, from a point of view of views, it's up because 93% of the views came from Twitter. So views, it's definitely up. But engagement and clicks, as far as Twitter is concerned, is much lower. So Twitter, from this data, which is only 1 month's worth of data, and some of it's fictitious anyway, so I wouldn't take it too seriously, but that would indicate that Twitter is actually good for getting your message out, but not necessarily good for getting interaction. That's what that's saying. Now you scroll down, you can see your Google Analytics, so you can see your page views and new users and sessions per month, and that will just populate as you go along. If you do the daily Google Analytics tab, your bounce rate as well. Let's just scroll down. Now from this section onwards, this is all bonus content on the spreadsheet. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, you don't have the 4-digit code, you haven't entered the 4-digit code, this will be read and will say valid code not entered. If you sign up for the newsletter, get the 4-digit code, bang it into the intro and setup tab. This will turn green, so you've got the valid code. You can click on this link to go and sign up for the newsletter. Once you've got it, put the code in, and boom, this stuff will all populate. Here you've got clicks to the website per post. So this is clicks per post. So you can see we're talking about Twitter. We had loads of posts, but very, very few clicks. Now, obviously, this isn't accurate data because I've just changed the query strings to see it, but that's what that would be telling you. So this is quite useful to see because it's clicks per post broken down in the campaigns. So you can see which campaigns have had more clicks per post to the website on which of those different channels, all nicely broken down. You can also see your engagements per post, the same thing. So this is engagements per post. It's not the overall engagement, but you basically take your engagement divided by a number of posts. And then impressions per post as well, also per campaign. And then lastly at the bottom, well, not lastly, but one more thing, but you've got these 4 pie charts showing posts per platform, clicks to website per platform, engagement, impressions, basically what you just seen, but these are totals. So instead of seeing per campaign, you can see overall clicks to website, LinkedIn, Facebook, engagements, possibly Twitter. You can see which of the social media platforms are better for which of those particular outcomes, whether it be posts, impressions, engagement. So if this is the number of posts that you've made, in theory, if everything was working 100% and you're getting the exact same engagement on all the different platforms, all these graphs should look the same. So if you've got a massive chunk of one here and you've been posting a lot of content, and you've got, for Twitter, for example, if more than half my content was Twitter, if Twitter was a small sliver here, here, and here, then it wouldn't be worth keeping. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. And lastly, scroll down to the bottom. Top 20 posts. This was also quite interesting. You can sort by whichever criteria you want. You can select that there's nothing there, but if you actually remove it, the clicks to the website, for example, engagement, if you started with engagement and then click to the websites, you can see your number one is the one with the higher engagement. So you can select the order, just clear them, just make sure that you do in fact fill them all in, but you can put them in whatever order you want them to be in order to sort the data. Then what it does is it pulls up and it shows you your top 40 posts. So this is out of all the posts on all of these 5 tabs, which ones have generated the most, or which ones are higher up on the list according to your ranking criteria. So if you do sort clicks first, obviously engagement, whatever second. It's kind of like football when you have points and goal difference, that type of thing. What do you want to rank it on first? What do you want to rank second? And what do you want to rank third if they're tied? So that's it. You've got your top 40. So this entire report, the only 3 cells you can change are those ones just to change this order. Everything else on this sheet is locked. Everything else on your schedule report is locked, but it's all generated based on what goes on the rest of the spreadsheet. So yeah, I really hope that these videos make sense, and I really hope that if you do use them, that they show you some information that you may not have known about your marketing and help you to get things streamlined. Because the reason why I use this is because I can then try different campaigns, different ideas, and then just see what tanks and what doesn't, and whatever gets the right kind of results, I then know, okay, let's push more of that, let's push more of that, and it's really helped me to streamline my marketing and to really hone in on what works. And I really hope that it does the same for you. So thank you very much, and goodbye.